Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com. Alright, so I'm not really sure why I picked this music. I think it just kind of goes with the theme of the day, trying to keep things real positive and also in a forward-moving way. Alright, so a couple things I want to say. As I've said in the last few videos, I really believe this conflict in Israel and Palestine is a blessing in disguise. It's a very painful, suffering, sacrificial blessing, but that's the way the two-dimensional dichotomy means either or thinking. In other words, there's two options. It's either A or it's B. It's either you or it's me, okay? The reason why I said that, because I heard that word dichotomy for many years when I was studying psychology in college and also during NLP, and I had no idea what the hell that meant. Finally, I got really frustrated when I go, what the hell does that mean? Someone goes, it means either or thinking. I was like, oh. Now remember, God doesn't want you to suffer, and you don't have to suffer to let go. You could literally just let go. It's kind of like stepping out of a car. What's like, well, just get out. The very thing that you're clinging to, the very thing that you're holding on to is the very thing that's causing you the pain. So let go and be free. Okay, so we're going to shift things up a little bit here. So today, what we're going to do is I'm going to teach you a very basic technique. It's very simple. In fact, pretty much all the techniques that I teach you guys doing call it the walking meditation, or what I really like to call it the internal awareness techniques. They're always very simple, very easy to do, and they make you feel very comfortable. And for you single guys, yep, these are the same techniques I teach in Cracked Female Code, because it helps you to feel comfortable when you approach, meet, and talk to women, and it helps her to feel relaxed. Just so you know, these are gold. When I say gold, I mean gold. So these are the same techniques that I will use on myself when I'm also doing therapy with my clients, because it helps us to gain rapport. It develops a deeper level of understanding and clarity within the session, okay? And it also helps the client to relax too. You know, it's a lot more powerful than that. I wish I could find a better way. Like for guys, your whole world's going to shift. You're going to be like, wow, like women literally walk up to me and talk to me. I'm like, yeah, this is gold, and I mean gold. If you're married and you and your wife are fighting, this is going to shift everything. She's going to be calm. She's going to be relaxed. So this is like, I have 3 core pieces for the course. This is the number 1 core piece you have to develop, learn, and practice over a period of time and get better and better at, okay? So it calms down a relationship. It helps a wife feel comfortable. It's great for meeting women. It's great for if you're a therapist, if you're a salesperson. I mean, this applies to everything in life. It shifts everything. Here's the difference. Here's a really good way of explaining it. Many years ago, I kept hearing, because I kept going to all these esoteric trainings and, energy healing and classes and, like personal development. And I kept hearing this, especially from women. Oh, Michael, all you got to do is open up to receive. All you got to do is open up to receive. And I kept hearing this like, oh, okay. And I'd walk away feeling like a dumbass. Well, after about 6 or 7 years of hearing this, going to all these courses and these, businesses and that taught this stuff, one lady, she literally said this to me, and I think I was talking about making money or getting clients, and I don't get enough clients or something like that. And she said that, and she said, oh, Michael, all you got to do is just open up and receive. And my girlfriend was with me, and I kind of stewed for about 2 seconds, and I turned and I looked at her and I said, what does that mean? And she kind of looked at me in shock, and she goes, well, you know, you just kind of sort of open up. And I looked at him like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I just walked out. Well, this is just one technique that's going to guide you in that direction. And I'll give you a really solid explanation of what it is right now. So it goes back to when Jesus says, get behind thee, Satan. Okay, it's also when Jesus says, thou shalt not want. Okay, wanting is not receiving, is not having. Okay, so there is another way of explaining is a funnel. Okay, so if you put the funnel upside down, the wide part is on the bottom and the narrow is at the top, so you can't really receive very well that way. But if you flip it around and the wide part's at top, you can pour water or sugar or salt or whatever, and you receive a lot. Okay. So another way of explaining this is what I call the open V. So if you have the V like the way it's supposed to be written, you can receive because it's wide open and you can receive. If you flip it upside down, now it looks like a pyramid and now you're closed off and you can't receive. So when I realized what she was talking about, she was basically talking about your chakras, your heart center and your solar plexus area. When you learn how to open those up and expand them, all of a sudden you start receiving stuff, okay? Now let me explain it this way. So the male energy is the closed end. It's the tip. It's the tip of the V, like an upside down pyramid, okay? When you approach people, which men do all the time, and men don't even know they're doing it, is your pupils are narrow and they're coming together like two laser beams are coming out and they're meeting at a point like you're aiming at a target, okay, like shooting a bow and arrow or a gun or a dart, okay, there's a target right in the center. So those two lines that come out of each eye, those laser beams I call them, they come to a point together and they make that pyramid. Well, when you are like that, which most men are, your chakras are closed, your forehead, your throat, your heart, your solar plexus, and the one below your belly button, your sacral chakra. When they're closed, it's called push energy. When you have push energy, you're literally pushing away what you want. So, guess what I do when it comes to guys when they want to meet a woman, dating, relationship coaching, or even they want to connect with their wife emotionally. Yeah, I teach them how to open up these chakras or how to open up the V to the open end so they can receive like a funnel. Yeah, I teach this technique to them. Why? Because now when they walk up to a girl, they're not pushing her away. When they walk up to their wife, they're not pushing her away. It's like you have this like knife or thing in your forehead and you're pushing it and bumping it up against her forehead, and after watching, oh God, I got to get out of here. You're literally pushing women away. I've had clients of mine, we go out to a club or coffee shop or whatever, and they approach a girl and she'd literally lean away, and I go, dude, if she's lean away, guess what? You're leaning too forward. You're literally pushing her away. Now, this is the two-dimensional way of being. So the other end of that, there's push energy and there's receiving energy, okay? So when people are in this dichotomous way of thinking, they're pushing or they're pulling. So women, when they're in the two-dimension, they will pull or suck your energy. And men will say, oh, it's like she's sucking the life out of me, okay? So males, left brain people will push, right brain people that are on the second dimension will pull. Well, guess what? There's another option. It's called neutral. Look at the cross. That's a symbol for neutral energy. It's a very respectful energy where your awareness is within your own space. It doesn't laser beam and connect to someone's forehead, which is very unhealthy. This is what causes the tug of war. It's bondage, it's controlling, and it causes people to literally want to kill each other. And this is what's been going on the planet for many, many centuries. And this is the epitome of what's happening between Israel and Palestine. One wants to dominate the other one doesn't want to be dominated, so there's war. So most people connect from forehead to forehead, or throat chakra to throat chakra, or heart chakra to heart chakra. Sometimes they're solar plexus chakra, okay? And they're generally doing a tug of war. They're pulling each other. It's exhausting. It's like one person has to be in the control, the other person has to submit, and this is back and forth, exhausting experience. Well, this is what most people are doing on the planet right now. More of us are beginning to wake up and let go. Now again, look at the crosses. This is the upright energy. Now let me explain this. I wish I had maybe one of you can draw this for me. I'll explain it on the phone or something. Or maybe you could do it in a digital way. To where I can upload it and show it, because I usually draw it in person in front of you. Okay, I decided just to draw it out and take a picture with my cell phone. So there's two images. Here's one of them. So this is literally the two-dimensional way of being. When people talk to each other or interact, or even if you're on the phone with someone halfway across the world, or even thinking about them, your energy will connect with them from forehead to forehead. In other words, it's horizontal, okay, like left to right versus up and down, okay. That's horizontal. I always get horizontal, vertical. Yeah, vertical is up and down. Okay, so the two dimension is when you're doing this tug of war thing, and so what I tell people is like, no, you're not supposed to connect with people like this. This is unhealthy. And they look at me like I'm crazy and like, well, I thought we were supposed to be connected to each other. Yeah, but not like this. This is bondage. This is like prison. It's like control. And that's why everyone, but the people that are living this way of being, you feel like every freaking day is a struggle. And people look at me and like, there's something different about you. Like, yeah, I'm not caught up in your struggle, because this is not how I connect to people. Now take another look at this symbol, okay? It's up and down, okay? Now watch this. This is how you're supposed to connect with people. You're supposed to connect to the core of the earth by dropping your cord, okay? Your root cord. So the reason why people are not emotionally grounded is because they're literally not connected to the earth. It's like a grounding wire that goes down into the earth, okay? When you connect like this, now everyone on top of the earth is free to walk around as anywhere that they please. Now if you look closer, you see a bunch of happy, smiley people. Happy, smiling people holding hands. So this is what makes people, they can breathe. They don't feel uptight. They feel relaxed. They feel down to earth. They just feel comfortable. They feel comfortable in their skin. So here you get to connect with people on the core of the planet, in the center, and everyone on top, everyone around you is free. Now let me tell you the greatest compliment I received from someone. Now this happens a lot now, but the first time it happened was about 15, maybe 20 plus years ago. Someone that I was talking to said, I don't know what it is about you, but I just feel so comfortable, like I can be myself or something. That was the biggest goal of my life for years. This is why I was doing all this therapy and going to personal development, etc., because I wanted people to feel comfortable around me. So when people say it to me now, I just kind of grin. It's a really good feeling for someone to say, I feel like I can just be myself around you, or I feel like I'm free. Because that's what it is. My energy doesn't connect with them. I'm not the police. I'm not tying a rope around them. I'm not trying to energetically grab them and control them and push or pull them. It's like, you're with me because you want to be. If you don't want to be, you're free to leave. So this is what God meant when he said free will. This is what he meant. You can come and go as you please. There's no judgment either way. And that is the greatest feeling someone can feel around another person, like they're not being judged, like they're not being controlled, like they're just like they're free to be themselves. And people will open up to you if they feel this with you. Now I am going to get to a technique I'm going to teach you towards the end of this, but I want to put this in there because this really fits perfectly. One of the things I loved about my the NLP trainings I took was they were saying, look, there's nothing wrong with anybody. In other words, we're not trained to go around judging people. Oh, you scratched your face twice. You got a nervous tic. Here's some medication. There's something wrong with you. We don't believe that at all. So Dr. Tad James said, look, there's nothing wrong with anyone. See, we all have different values and beliefs, and walking around judging someone because they do something that you don't, oh, you need therapy, there's something wrong with you, or you need Medicaid. No, that's just a load of bullshit. And so Dr. Tad James said there's only something wrong if someone comes to you and they say, hey, I have a problem and I want to change it. In other words, if they don't think there's nothing wrong with them, then they're just fine. See, this whole thing is about free will. It's like you can be you and I can be me, and we feel a lot more comfortable around each other. Now, that doesn't mean if someone does drugs or does something that you don't like and you're not comfortable with it, that doesn't mean you got to hang out with them or put up with them. So if they smell horrible and they don't like to take showers, or I don't care, or they do drugs and you don't like it, you don't have to be around them, and that's fine too. See, you have your free will also. Now here's the deal. We had some psychologists and psychiatrists in the training. This was a huge training. It was about 250 people approximately. And Dr. Tad James had brought up, people that go through to get their doctorate degrees in psychology and psychotherapy and psychiatry. They essentially get brainwashed. They don't essentially, he goes, no, they hypnotize you. They, over and over, year after year, they tell you, well, if someone scratches the same side of the face twice in a therapy session, well, they got a nervous tic and they need medication or they need long-term therapy. If somebody fidgets, that means something wrong with them. If they move a lot, blah, blah, blah. And so they're told all these natural, normal, healthy things that humans do on a daily basis, and we've always done this since the beginning of time, that, oh, these are signs of sickness, these are signs of illness, of disease. No. Like, one of the things that we discovered is that kinesthetic people like me, I learned kinesthetically. So I like to move. I like to fidget. I like to stand up and move around. And so years ago, they would say, oh, you've got a nervous disorder. You need to be put on downers. You need medication that slows you down and does this and does that. And it was a load of bullshit. So they're drugging all these people. Drugs are unhealthy. We all know that. That's not even a question. And not only that, but they were stopping these people from learning. So now what they do, hopefully in the last 20 plus years, is they take little children, and what they'll do is if they find they have a kinesthetic learner, kinesthetic means physical. So you got visual, auditory, kinesthetic. Sorry, did I say visual? I meant physical. So kinesthetic means physical. We learn physically, then you have auditory, digital. So visual people learn visually. They need to see it on the chalkboard, on a piece of paper, in an image. Auditory people need to hear it, okay? It needs to be told to them. Kinesthetic people need to physically move, okay? They need to draw circles. What they would do with kids is they'd have them stand up, and the right leg would lift up, and they touch their palm to the heel. And then they do the left leg to the right hand, and they do left to right, right to left, left to right, right to left. And they noticed these kids would absorb the information a lot faster, and then they would do a lot better on the test. Another thing they would do is they would have these children stand up before they take the test, and they touch their left hand to their right foot, the palm to heel, and left to right, right to left to right, and then they'd have them sit down and take the test, and they did a lot better because it accessed the memory. But what did they used to do to these people? These psychiatrists and psychologists, whether you're in elementary, middle school, high school, college, or even at a job, oh, well, you have a disorder, you have a disease, I must medicate you, you need long-term therapy, and they would fuck these people up. I mean, they literally would medicate these people and convince them that, hey, moving is bad, moving is wrong. So all of a sudden their grades start to plummet, they can't function in society, they think there's something wrong with them, like they're a bad person, and on and on. It just ruined people's lives. I'll give you one more. There was a kid, Kyle, when I was in third grade, maybe it was third grade. He was the spelling bee champion. Nobody could beat him. This kid was smart. He wore glasses, he was tall, skinny, and he was athletic. Well, one day we had a spelling bee. Okay, I think we did it every Friday. And it got to him, and it was his turn, and the teacher said, spell, I don't know, I think it was the word kitchen. Oh, no, it was refrigerator. That's what it was. And he looks up, because he's a very visual learner, right? He looks up to access his memories, and the teacher goes, no, What are you looking up there for? Do you have the words written up there? Is there a messenger? Is there an angel up there? No, there's nothing up there. So stop looking up. And what happened was he got embarrassed and he looked down and she goes, refrigerator, spell refrigerator. And he couldn't. And not only that, but he got so embarrassed, he pissed his pants and he ran out of the class. She did that to a third grader. Why? Because he was different than her. Believe it or not, but it's okay to be different. It's okay to learn differently. It's okay to fidget. It's okay to move around, etc., etc. Now, during this NLP training, that last story was something that actually happened in my life when I was in third grade with this kid, Kyle. The first, well, I actually forget the first stories. So here's my point. During that training, there were psychologists and psychiatrists there, and they kind of raised their hand, and Dr. Tajam goes, yeah. He goes, you're right. We were trained to see everything as a disorder, as a disease, as a sickness, as a mental health issue, as a mental illness. And as we were going through this course, they were like, I can't believe how many people I've medicated simply because they were kinesthetic, whereas I was visual. Or they would say, well, in my mind, when I hear this voice, blah, 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 blah. And he said, I would automatically think they're schizophrenic just because they said the phrase voice. Well, a lot of auditory people, especially called auditory internal, they will have this, what's called internal dialogue. Well, this is very normal. What do we teach people? Hey, take charge of your internal dialogue. Say positive things. Say this. And he goes, and here I was medicating these people, telling them they're schizophrenic, putting them on these really powerful drugs that was destroying their neurology. All right, so let's go back to what I was talking about, bondage and how to let go and all that stuff. So these are the things I'm going to teach you how to do in the workshop we have coming up in November, okay? It's going to be here in San Rafael, California. And this is literally bondage. It's like you're tied to each other, okay? And this is the whole thing about Israel and Palestine, Hamas and all that. They are literally tied to each other. You know what? I want to make an announcement. Sam Vaknin made a tremendous video. I don't normally watch the guy, but this video damn near made me cry. It's kind of scientific. He's a very left-brain guy, but he really explains things in a way. I was going to make a video, but I'm going to let him do it. I don't want to copy the guy. He made a tremendous video. I'm going to give you the name right now. Let's see. All right, let me be a little bit more specific. He's specifically talking about the Israel-Palestinian conflict that's going on right now and how it is a very narcissistic thing. But he explains a couple things that is just, I love the way that he does it. I'm not even going to try to attempt to replicate it because he does it perfectly. So here's the name of the videos. Watch this video. It came out 2 days ago. Today is October 18th, so about the 16th. It's called Psychology of Israel. So Psychology of, and in half circles, not parentheses, but I forget what those are called. Israel-Palestinian, and then conflict, and then another parentheses, read description. Okay, so Psychology of Israel-Palestinian conflict, read description. I will do my best to leave a link in the description box. If I don't, just make a note of it, remind me, right? Type it in there. Another one that just came out, Sam Vaknin, professor of clinical psychology, on Israel and Palestine. You've got to watch that too. He really makes a really good point. Okay, back to our daily broadcast. All right, so essentially people are walking around the planet, and the way people connect to each other is forehead to forehead, or throat to throat, and heart to heart. That's heart chakra to heart chakra. So it's an energy connection, and it is not healthy at all. All right, so let's get to the technique. Enough time's gone by. All right, so here, I want to say one more thing about this, though. So here's the deal. Remember, there's a push and pull energy, which is not healthy. Okay, it's control, it's bondage, okay? The other energy is neutral, where you're not controlling them. Now here's the deal. Instead of putting your energy on them, you bring your energy back to you. And again, that's what this symbolizes right here. It's upright energy. Okay? So one thing you can do right now, obviously we'll go much more in depth during the course, but you bring your energy back to your body. So how do you do that? You just put your awareness on your chest, on your belly. You can do it all the way down your back, from left to right, front to back. You can imagine a ball or a spacious area inside your belly, chest, and solar plexus area. So this brings your awareness back to you. What this does is two things. It tunes you into your radar system, meaning your intuition. You'll begin to feel people's intentions. You'll begin to feel like, what are they saying? Like, you'll get it by feeling what their words are trying to say, okay? And you also respect their space, because your energy is not on their space, because a lot of people, that feels like an invasion. They don't like it. Most women will tell you this, that men or people with what's called male energy, external linear push energy, it's very intrusive, it's very rude, it's very disrespectful. When you bring your awareness / energy back to you, now people feel comfortable around you. So just that little bit right there, you can do that. Isn't it funny how the symbols were all around us, like the cross? It was always telling us the same thing. And even Jesus says, look within. Look at his eyes. They're dilated, which means his awareness is internal. When you drop your awareness down inside your body and expand it, your pupils will dilate and be larger, like the images of Jesus. Did you ever notice that? The reason why Jesus' face looks so relaxed is because when you're internal, it opens you up to your right brain, which causes that artery to open up, okay? And that causes your pupils to dilate as well. It softens the muscles around your face and your body, and giving you a softer, rounder look on your face. Alright, so again, just a reminder. There's push and pull energy, and then there's neutral energy. Neutral energy is when your awareness is inside your body and you drop it all the way down into the earth. Okay, there's more to that, but that's essentially neutral energy. Okay, you're not pushing and you're not pushing, you're neutral. And this is what will cause people to be like, there's something different about you. Alright, so I'm going to give you a very basic technique, okay? You probably should be inside a house to do this. I learned this, 21 years ago, I think it was. So I'm actually in my apartment, okay? So kind of take a deep breath. And relax. Alright, so I want you to be aware of the space that's immediately around you. So I'm in the living room, and I'm on a couch with my back to the wall. So I'm going to allow my energy to expand all the way to the front, to the other wall. Let's say awareness energy that's interchangeable. Now I'm going to allow it to expand all the way to the ceiling, all the way to the left, all the way to the right. Now I'm going to let it expand even further to the left, all the way into the kitchen. Now I'm going to allow it to expand all the way forward. Or no, let's do the right. All the way right through the sliding glass windows onto the porch. So now I'm expanding it and filling up that area too. So the main room, the living room, the kitchen, and now the balcony. My awareness is expanded to that. Now behind me is a matching apartment, and there is a living room there. So I'm going to expand my awareness all the way into that space there. Okay, try to follow along as much as you can. Again, I don't know what kind of apartment or house you're in. So even if it's outside, allow it to expand outside 10, 15 feet. Now, I'm going to allow my awareness to expand through the front wall, which is in front of me, all the way into the bedroom. So now, I'm going to allow it to expand upwards all the way up into the living room above me. Take a deep breath. And relax. Now I'm going to let it expand all the way to the left into the kitchen upstairs. So I'm up on the second floor and expanding all the way over to the left into the kitchen. So now it's expanded into my entire apartment. The kitchen, balcony, living room, bedroom. I expanded up into their living room and expanded to the whole living room all the way up to the ceiling of all 4 walls. And now it's expanding all the way into the kitchen. Now I'm going to let it expand to the right all the way into their balcony up there. And now I'm going to let it expand all the way to the back, the living room and the apartment behind. Like behind me, but on the 2nd floor. Now I'm going to let it also expand all the way down into the garage below me. So this is how you expand your awareness. So when I'm working with a client or talking to someone, even if it's on the phone, I will take myself through one of these techniques, one of these processes. So as I'm talking to you now, my awareness is still expanded to all those spaces. It's just boom, it's just expanded out. So when I talk to someone, my awareness does not laser beam them. See, generally, most people take their energy and concentrate it and focus on the person in front of them. That's called push energy. It can be very rude. So when you expand your awareness around you and also at the same time drop your awareness inside, now you're going, what do you mean? Well, you can do both at the same time, okay? You can also shift with your awareness inside and at the same time in a peripheral way have an awareness outside of you, okay? When you talk to someone from this space, it opens you up to receive everything that they're saying. This is what I call listening to understand. So you silence your mind, you silence your heart, and you expand your energy, and now you have the open V. So go ahead and open your eyes if you haven't already. So as I'm talking at the rest of this video, why don't you go ahead and expand your awareness at least to the room around you, past your computer, past your cell phone, and have an open awareness of the space around you while you go ahead and listen to me. So a lot of times, and I mean at least once a week when I go out to dinner or wherever, I get free desserts. Sometimes I'll just get the whole meal for free. I took a client out, and I had told him this before he was going to take the Crack the Female Code course. I said, hey, if you develop this stuff really good, people will just start giving you stuff out of the blue, and you never even thought about it. So we went out to Chipotle burritos, and I ordered my burrito, and the manager goes, you know what? The meal's on us. And my client goes, why is the meal on you? I don't understand, because this was the second time it happened. The manager goes, well, I don't know, I'm just trying to be nice. And I looked at this guy's name was Kenneth. I go, hey, why don't you just back off? Why don't you just let him do something nice for me? And so Kenneth was really pissed off. Okay, he thought I was making all this up. So then we went out to a nicer restaurant the next session we did. And we both got our desserts for free. And he was just like, this is bullshit. Now, I didn't know he was mad, but he told me later. So he convinced me to drive all the way over where he lives, which was about not quite an hour away. And I'm like, well, dude, he goes, I'll pay you extra. I'm like, all right, fine. So he wanted to go to he goes, have you ever heard of this kind of this restaurant? I'm like, no, why? Is that like a private restaurant? He goes, no, it's actually a small chain that just started. I'm like, no, I've never heard of it. He goes, good. I'm like, good, why? Like, I didn't get it. So we went to that restaurant. It's a pretty cool story because we sat in the far back away from everyone, and a waitress that wasn't even, this is a different story. This isn't the same story I've told before. And a waitress from the very front came all the way back to help us. And I'm like, are you our waitress? Now, I know this sounds similar to another story, but it's a totally separate one. And she goes, oh, no, I just thought I'd help you. And so then our waitress came up, and we ordered the food. We ate it. And she came up, and she says, the meal's on the house. And Kenneth goes, why is the meal on the house? Blah, 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 blah. So what ended up happening was, hold on a second. So, sorry, I had to reconnect something. So, what happened was Kenneth admitted to me, he said, you know, I got to be honest with you, I brought you to this restaurant because this is a brand new restaurant that just opened here about 2 weeks ago. I'm like, oh, yeah, I've never heard of this chain before. He goes, no, it's a brand new chain, that's why. He goes, I honestly thought you were paying those people off. Now, this was back when I wasn't charging very much for my course. I go, do you really think I could afford to pay all those people off? I go, dude, you're not paying me that much money. He goes, yeah, you know what, now that I think about it, you're right. And so The point being is this: when you learn how to open up to receive, you literally start receiving stuff. In fact, okay, for example, 6 or 7 days ago approximately, I went to Domino's Pizza. I got a large pizza, and right as he handed me the pizza, he goes, "Hey man," he goes, "You want some pizza for free?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So he walks up two just freshly off the rack medium pizzas. He hands them to me, and so I was like, "Thanks, man." So I walked out. I walked to the right, gave this family a pizza, and I walked up to these two other girls, gave them a pizza. If you believe, you shall receive whatever you ask for in prayer. The question is, are you open? Are you saying, "No, that's not going to happen to me"? Then you're right. Whatever you believe, whether you believe you can or cannot, you are correct, because you're the controller of it. Have you ever wondered why some people are so damn lucky? They're just open to receive, literally. They've learned how to open up. So this is just one technique, okay? During the course, I'm going to teach you a series of techniques. Now again, we can do this in one-on-one coaching too. You don't have to take the course, okay? So essentially that's it. It's going to teach you how to ground yourself emotionally. It's going to allow you to feel spacious. People are going to feel comfortable around you. People are going to like you. And don't be surprised if you start getting a lot of free stuff. And people are going to be a lot more willing to work with you and help you out and work around issues, etc., etc. Because it feels comfortable, and people aren't used to feeling comfortable around other people. So when one person pops up into their daily life, they're like, "Wow, this is refreshing." So this is just one technique that teaches you how to expand your awareness, which means you're opening up to your larger human brain, okay? Thus the right brain. Third dimension. Now here technically is really what we're doing. My whole goal since college psychology 101, or yeah, I think it was 101, psychology 101, was it dawned on me, because they were really saying, "Oh, right brain bad, right brain dumb," and the church was saying the same thing. It's all about rules, structure, and organization. Left brain, you got to be disciplined. And I thought, no, you need to use your left, your right, and your lower reptilian brain. There's a reason why we have all those brains. So what I'm really teaching you is how to open up and turn on all your systems. Now you're at full power. This is why I say the internal awareness is your power. Your power is internal power. When you disconnect from one of your systems, that is not healthy. And that is what narcissists are doing. They shut off, they disconnect, they closed off from their right brain, and now they're not fully functioning human beings, and that's why they're so messed up. So I want to re-emphasize this to make sure it's clear. So this is one of many techniques that you can learn how to do that teaches you how to let go. Letting go of the two-dimensional dichotomous way of doing things, thinking, of that tug of war, okay? Of back and forth, push and pull. So this is, if we could teach everyone on the planet how to do this, not only would we get a lot more intelligent, we would learn faster, we would get along, love would be everywhere, life would be good again. And this is how you bring peace to the Middle East, literally. It's the only way. Alright guys and girls, this is Mike Colleen. Remember, God is awesome, Mike Colleen is awesome, and you're awesome. Alright, so you want to know what my qualifications for being awesome is? Being awesome is when you're in that expanded internal awareness. It's just, not only does it make you feel good, but the people around you feel good. Everything shifts, and I mean everything. Like, you can understand people better, they can understand you better, they feel free, you feel free. It literally can change the energy dynamic of an entire room. If you can get 1, 2, or more people that are really grounded and open, over a period of time, unconsciously, other people will go into rapport with you, and all of a sudden people start to loosen up and they breathe deeper and they start to smile, and next thing you know, you're surrounded by a bunch of happy, shiny people. And by the way, the name of that band is REM. Alright, God bless you guys. Thank you for listening. If you like this video, click subscribe, click the like button, go ahead and make a comment. And remember, we are going to have a training coming up. Probably going to be a 2-day training. I might do one for what we're going over today, and the second day I might do the Why Men Just Don't Get It course. because it will help men and women understand the difference between what's going on. Okay, that's about a 3 or 4 hour course.